RCYT, Registered Children's Yoga Teacher Training, and we have the luxury of having anatomy guru, Peter Iacobello, owner and founder of two incredible yoga sanctuaries. Bronxville Sanctuary, it's been a while, and Presence Wellness in Westport, Connecticut. So he brings such a wealth of knowledge to us today and is an incredible resource to connect with as teacher trainees, for you may have questions later on in developing your own business model and things like this. And he is an incredible yoga instructor as well as executive coach and so forth. So just a wonderful resource for you to meet today.
Hello.
As you know, each week we highlight a pose of the week. This is because it's an easy way to commit our 45 key signature poses of the SHARE method to memory by just really thinking about one particular pose each week. That way we learn by doing, kinetic learning, instead of having to memorize with tests or quizzes. So obviously we'll have a really good, feel-good yoga class, but we will hit our pose of the week. I'm just going to show it quickly. Our pose of the week is Warrior Two, and this is a wonderful pose in children's yoga. We talked about how children love storytelling, and so you can incorporate a lot of fun story ideas with this. For older kids, this is a wonderful pose to increase confidence, which is a growth area for middle schoolers. I'll give the floor to Peter, and this class is just for you as teacher trainees in the children's yoga degree track.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Ashley, for giving us this platform, this space, this amazing time to spend together and to be able to give back. As Ashley said, her last name is Cher, so that's why I share. See, tongue twister. As Ashley said, you know, the pose of the week, Peak Pose Warrior 2, for all different age groups we're teaching here, we're targeting here. So just because we're targeting multiple age groups doesn't mean we should teach each age group the same. However, if you have all three of these age groups in one class, which is what we're going to pretend today, how do you incorporate this pose and storytell, but yet not lose the 13 to 15-year-old and keep the 2-year-old engaged?
I love that, Peter, because that is what really happens in a family setting, and where you do have mixed age groups. And so I love this sort of Montessori approach.
Well, it is a Montessori approach if you think about it. And then the same thing goes for when you're teaching adults. How do you keep the 21-year-old dynamic personality, can do anything, can stand on one finger, and the 85-year-old that walked in with that came in with a wheelchair involved? Not that that's the norm, however, that can happen. It can happen. So how do you get that audience to keep them engaged, have them feel the effects, and, you know, but yet also come out of the experience on whatever level? Again, don't attach yourself to their experience, but give them an experience, guide them into an experience so that they can benefit on any level that they walk in with. That's the key in yoga, is to be able to provide an experience, provide a platform, our mat, and encourage, guide, offer, not force, no attachment to their outcome. That's a gift that you can give them, is wherever they are, let them be present and be all there. That's what I say in life. Hopefully that helps. I know it's a little gibberish, but
it does help. It's you know, we sort of have to schedule presence, and so these classes are amazing because it's just scheduled time to practice being present, and through practice it gets easier, and maybe one day we can do it on our own, just being present, but it's wonderful to have these scheduled times.
Well, it is wonderful, and I would just say this: practicing presence is a way of life and a gift, right? Am I always present? No. Especially when I'm in a car and somebody cuts you off, you're not present all the time. You're present to want to do something to that person, maybe, right? But
live and uncut.
Exactly. So I mean, hey, right? But we have to practice presence, right? I always say this: don't do unto others as you would not do to yourself. It's a different wording, but I've heard this saying before. So treat others as if you would treat yourself. You wouldn't treat yourself bad. You wouldn't yell at someone else. You wouldn't yell at yourself, and maybe you do. Then that's a different conversation for yourself. You need to go have in a corner somewhere. But if you treat yourself good, you'll treat others good. It starts from within, right? So teach to that audience. Teach them the best you can. Give them your all. Give them presence. Give them compassion, and just let them show up to be their best, most authentic self, as you are.
I can't iterate that enough. Like, don't take things personally as a teacher. If a student is not focused on you, sometimes we, without even realizing it, there's a subconscious thought that says, like, they don't like me, or feeling rejected. But before we even know we had that rejection thought, we're like mad at the student for not engaging. But if you kind of backtrack the thought pattern, and this is why journaling can be so effective, you can then think, okay, well, maybe that child has a dysfunctional family and was up all night, and or maybe something's going on, and you can have compassion and basically be a resource, and you have more energy to be the best teacher you can be when you're not using any energy to take things personally. So.
That's right. I love that, actually. Thank you for that. And how do you, when a person is asking questions or shouting, I don't feel this where it's supposed to, because you will have that. You'll just be very compassionate and say, well, maybe just try moving your arms a different way. Maybe draw your shoulders down, and maybe just close your eyes and go inside your body and see how that feels. Maybe that experience will help you feel it. If not, I'll come over if it's okay with you and put you into the position I think might be appropriate for you, if it's with your permission, and then maybe we can access the muscles differently.
I just want to say, because you just got me excited about a point. So class management is one of the categories that Yoga Alliance, through our accreditation, wants us to teach. And we haven't focused on it a lot in our other degrees, because our other degrees were focused on adults. But I think, the class management issues, so Peter, with all your 25 plus years of experience, if you sort of think of things related to class management, please feel free to share.
Absolutely.
I think that can be a real challenge in teaching non-paying adults.
It is a big challenge.
In an adult setting, adults have actually paid for your course. They've chosen to be there. So the likelihood that they would disrupt or something,
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
You've seen it all. Diaries of, a spa owner.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. When my book comes out, probably sometime this year, even though it's called Confessions from the Table from My Massage Experience, it is going to talk about yoga and yoga experiences too. One-on-ones, classes, and everything. From teaching at Sarah Lawrence College in Bronxville, New York, my experiences teaching there, to just teaching individuals. It's a very interesting experience. Loving experience, I will say that. It has taught me so much. What I always say is that what I learned is the things I don't want to do, versus trying to force things that I thought I wanted to do. So like yoga is the process of unlearning. Right? It's the process of unlearning. And by unlearning, I mean like know when to say no, and know when you're trying to force it, and there's obstacles, and the obstacles, big or small, are just there, and you're forcing it. So learn the things that will teach you no versus anything else, and then you'll find out all the yeses. My philosophy in life is all no's, very important, all no's lead to yes. All no's lead to yes. Trust me, I've experienced it. when I opened up my first business, went to multiple banks for loans. No, 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 no. Until I went to one small bank and I said, well, I have a car that's paid off. Can I refinance my car? Yes, you can. Got my money for my business. So just know you have to be creative. You got to know what you're doing. It is all knows BTS. Trust me when I say that.
That is so amazing, and I think every successful entrepreneur has said that that you just have to stick with it.
Stick with your plan. Stick with what you know. Make it simple. In business, there's a big word. It's the biggest word you'll ever learn. It's called KISS. K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid. It's the truth. Every book on entrepreneurs should just have that one word, KISS, and then the end. A little opening, hi, welcome to my book, KISS, the end. That's all you need to learn.
It's the executive course.
It's going to be the best, that's the advanced course that you pay $4 million for.
But you get it free, so
Exactly.
you guys are lucky.
Anyway, thank you so much for letting me talk. I just think it's
Thank
important.
you for sharing, because it's real life experience. You're not, some kid that read a book. You've tried it, and we don't have to skin our knee as many times as maybe you had to, because you can share your experience, and you didn't just do one business, but you've done multiple businesses, so you know the formula, and you know the formula in New York too. So for local audiences, because sometimes in different regions you have to attack things differently. However, I do think these are universal truths, but it's nice to hear from a contemporary real person that's like, look, I tried this, I tried that, I didn't give up, and put effort with creativity, and there you go.
Creativity, opening up your mind, and know that you have to be resourceful. It's one thing you have to be in life, is resourceful. If you want it, you have to be resourceful. And if you want it, there's multiple ways of getting it.
I love also getting mentorship from Peter, because so many yogis will say, oh, just try to take away the want, or just, relax, or don't be attached. But I mean, at the end of the day, when you're trying to make a livelihood, you do need to put effort. So there's a difference between being like emotionally attached, where it interferes with your productivity, versus still working hard and still doing everything to procure that outcome, but maybe be like a little less emotional. So I think that I don't know, sometimes people misinterpret this non-attachment prong of yoga, and I guess the way I reconcile it is to kind of think about thinking of non-attachment as don't take things personally, but you can't just like lay in bed thinking, oh, well, if it's my destiny, it will happen. I know not everyone is religious. I'm not trying to impose my religious beliefs, but my father always told me, God helps those who help themselves. So you can think of that as like the universe or whatever. But basically the thing is like, if you want a result, like you're going to have to get up and get it for yourself. Or if it requires expert knowledge, then you're going to have to get up and find those experts and figure it out. I love to say that everything is find-outable, especially now that we have the internet, but it requires getting out of bed. That's a big step one, a prerequisite.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet either. Don't believe everything you read. You have to, that's the whole thing about the internet. You put in one sentence and everybody has an opinion. Mine is just an opinion as well, but I will tell you the difference between my opinion is real life. I did it without the internet, and I still do it without the internet.
And also, Peter is teaching for a cause today. We're a 501c3 charity, so we're here because we believe in it.
That's right.
And that we fortunately have been successful, so that we have this time to give to you all for free. It's our way of giving back. So there's no, whether you make it or don't make it, it doesn't really impact us, but we wouldn't be spending our time here today if we didn't believe that this is, you know, this
Helpful.
information is really helpful.
Helpful, yes. And again, I want to say thank you, Ashley, and thank you, YouTube land. So with that said, there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to say something very, very funny. Forget about everything I just said. For two reasons. It's been recorded on YouTube, so you can go back and listen. And number three, it's time to separate ourselves and get into our bodies and focus on us as the individual. I mean, separate from the mind, separate from the body. Us as the individual, this being, this human being, not human doing. And when we go turn our focus and attention inward, it's not about being narcissist. It's not about not giving a shit or giving, excuse my French, giving a crap about the world around us. It's about taking care of ourselves, self-care. Not self-indulgence, self-care. And the world tells us not to. The world tells us that if we go inward in self-care, that we're being selfish. Let's turn that around and say, no, I need to take care of myself so that I can better help others. In this life, we're here to serve ourselves and others in the capacity we can. And when you start taking care of others by taking care of yourself, being an example, your world around you is so much more brighter and peaceful. And with that said, just begin to allow the body to soften. Turn our focus and attention inward by taking an internal scan of our body. Are we feeling any areas of tension? If so, try to breathe into that space. If it's your lower back, if it's your shoulders, if it's your brain, bring your breath to those areas. Not to shut them off, but just to quiet them. They're still there, but just quiet them, just quieting them down. And then bringing them forward into the practice and putting a little light bulb on them. Imagine that, every little whisper that's in our body, we're turning a light bulb on, acknowledging that it's there. Thank you. Thank you for giving me that gift. I know you're there. I will take care of you. One of my yoga teachers puts her finger to her mouth like a whisper. And allow that just to whisper, to be a soft little whisper off to the side. And then a gentle pull of our belly button or navel towards our spine. And then lift up through the crown of the head, top of the head, as we tuck our chins back ever so slightly. And then draw our shoulders down and away from our ears. Create a length in your spine. Lift up, root down through your sacrum. Create that space. Again, a readjustment of your abdomen, your abdominal muscles. So we're using some core strength here to hold us and sustain us. And as we allow our shoulders to drip down and away from our ears, you just remove the pair of earrings. Have your palms face up to open up your heart, your chest. Soften the space between the eyebrows to relax the eyelids. Part your lips to relax the jaw. Yes, allow the flies to go in, or drool, whatever comes up. You could just imagine yourself drooling where you're sitting here. Just imagine how relaxed you'd be. In yoga, drooling is welcomed because it just shows the ultimate in letting go and surrendering. That's that physical sign of it. Just keep sending the breath, our life force that lies within us, that sustains us, that we at times take for granted. Our prana. When we enter into this world, the first thing we do is inhale. When we exit, the last thing we do is exhale. Notice how profound that is. We don't know when we'll take that last exhale. Every breath in between teaches us, nourishes us, is a gift. Sorry to be so deep or so dark if you take it that way. I take it as light and knowing. And as we draw attention to the space between our eyebrows or our third eye or our wisdom or intention, whatever you want to call it, there's multiple names. Envision yourself softening just as you are now in your warrior two pose. Envision yourself teaching that pose, embracing that pose, and teaching it to others or guiding others, young, in this case, younger population. And become playful with it. Imagine yourself being playful with it. You can play in that pose. You'll be able to teach any population with it. What would it be like if you're a 2-year-old doing that pose? What would it be like if you're a 10-year-old? What would it be like if you're a 15-year-old doing that pose? Envision yourself in all those ages. How silly you'll look, and how much fun you'll have in it. And how each age, each progression is a journey. And remember, yoga is not about how you do the pose. It's the journey into and out of. What does that journey look like? See it. Envision it. And together, maybe we can make that happen here. That's just an offering. And let's breathe into that space. Inhale, fill the belly like a balloon. Expand the belly. And then exhale through the mouth with a sigh and let it go. Inhale, fill the belly like a balloon. Exhale through the mouth. Few more rounds of breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Few more rounds of breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release, relax, let go. Come back to your normal cycle of breath. Soften in the space between the eyebrows by relaxing your eyelids if you can. Part the lips to relax the jaw. And then gently allow the eyes to float open. Look down as you take the light of the room back in. It's always good to look down first, because sometimes the lights are big and bright. And as you take the light of the room back in, just notice how you feel without any attachment. Am I supposed to feel relaxed? Am I supposed to forget everything? Yeah, forget about it all. Forget about everything we spoke about, everything we learned, because we're going to embody that experience. And at the end of our practice, we'll revisit this experience in two separate ways to embody our practice. After we've first visualized it, executed the physical part of the practice, and going back and honing the practice. How does that sound? A journey to Warrior 2. Now, I want you to become a 2-year-old. How do we become a 2-year-old, right? Maybe you have a pacifier, maybe you don't.
I've actually read in, there's like a self-help philosophy that says, really act like a 2-year-old because, you can call it a 2-year-old or you can call it being a narcissist, but basically 2-year-olds just, do what they want without much thought about other people's feelings. And they also say that 2-year-olds constantly live in the present. So that's why they'll cry incessantly and then they'll, get a lollipop and then be happy as a clam, almost like a puppy brain.
And they're brutally honest.
Yes, and they're brutally honest. So
Mommy, your hair looks bad. Daddy, what is that on your shirt?
That's so, it's so interesting. So I think there could actually be a lot of benefits in just going through this exercise as a 2-year-old.
There's something to be said. When we're young, all we want to be is an adult. I don't know about you, but since becoming an adult and being responsible, all I want to do is become a child again.
Oh.
So guess what I do? I show up to work every single day and play. I play. And I play my butt off because it feels good. That's all I know how to do is play. I am playful, I joke. And if you don't like me, that's okay. Maybe you don't think I'm taking you serious. That's okay. I'm not for everybody, nor is everybody for me. That's my philosophy.
Totally, I think that's great. Like as a yoga teacher, just be you because nobody does it better, and then you'll find your people. You'll find your crowd.
The longer you are just you, the better you become at being yourself. And then again, your story, the way you share, is unique, and there are people that will love you. And there will be people that won't love you. And guess what? That's okay. Put your big girl, big boy pants on. We're opening ourselves up to the public. So be ready for what the public might say. And that's okay. If somebody offers criticism, take it. If they offer healthy criticism, take it. Don't go high or too low in either way. Just say thank you. Thank you so much. It's a gift. Either way is a gift because it's teaching you something about yourself and them. All right? So you'll get the people that align with you, and there'll be people that won't align with you. That's all I have to say. So from here, Ashley, I'm going to ask you to come onto your back.
Okay.
I'm going to be very mindful of your wrists. So. Come onto your back, hug your knees to chest. Draw your arms alongside you and just bring your arms out just ever so slightly away from the mat, and then just gently, gently rotate the hips from side to side. Just go side to side. Even slower. Even slower.
This is great because it's an abdominal workout.
It's an abdominal exercise, but also it warms up your sacrum, your lower back. Gets your hips ready for what we're going to do today.
And core exercises are so great at every age.
Yes, they are. So like if you had a kid here, you can say that they're swishing their legs side to side.
Mm-hmm.
Having some fun. They're flapping their legs over and over like a frog upside down on their back.
Yeah, or like tick-tock.
Yes. And then begin to come to center and just extend your legs toward the sky. And if, again, younger children, you can say, imagine pressing your heels against the ceiling. Or imagine your feet touching clouds. And then press your lower back down, your sacrum, pull the belly in. And again, if I was teaching a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, said, imagine pulling your smelly belly in.
That's awesome. I think Peter prefers his 3-year-olds.
Oh,
because
heck yeah. Heck, any day of the week. Any day of the week. That smelly belly, pull it in. Pull it all in. And resist the urge to let go of anything smelly, is what I always say. Resist the urge. Listen, I'm authentic, yet I'm a kid. I am a kid at heart. I'm a 58-year-old kid. And then from here, bring your knees into chest one more time. Now give yourself a little hug. Doesn't that feel nice? Feels really good for the heart. It's nourishing. And guess what? This could be your yoga practice or one of your students' yoga practices that day. Maybe this is all they're feeling. Maybe they're happy here. Leave them there. There's no right, no wrong. Leave them right there. And then from here, Ashley, I'll ask you to place your feet onto the earth. And then lift your hips up toward the sky. And then push your weight forward into the balls of your feet. Get the thighs to stretch just a bit. Lift the chin so that you can breathe. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. And then hold this here for a few breaths. And then I always tell them, imagine right under your butt, there's a box of tissue. Now, bring your butt down, grab a piece of tissue, and lift up. 2 more times. Grab another tissue, lift up. Grab another tissue, lift up. Now hold that tissue. Hold that tissue. And then very, very slowly lower your hips down and then bring your knees back into your chest. Now that you're holding on to all those tissues, I wouldn't use them afterwards, but hold on to all those tissues. Extend your legs toward the sky again. Notice how that feels a little different maybe than the first time. Maybe your legs are a little bit more open now, a little bit more blood flow. This is very nourishing, very relaxing. This is great for calming the nervous system. And then from here, look at your toes and then bring your hands up and then try to reach for your toes 10 times by lifting the upper body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now hug the knees to chest again. Without saying to someone, do some crunches, that's how we got them to do crunches. Just so you know.
The trickery.
The trickery, that's right. You have to trick people into doing things. Oh, I'm just reaching for my toes, that's all. I'm not really doing crunches. I'm just reaching for my toes. It's just a reframing of the experience.
It's true though, like if you say, okay, let's do crunches, everyone's like, oh man. And so the thoughts kind of interfere with the potential. So it is great to just, not like, why give it a name?
Yeah, take the wording away and just have them do the actions without saying what the action is.
I think it's also true with Savasana. Like if you tell kids, oh, you're gonna lay and sit still for 15 minutes and not move, that could feel overwhelming. Oof. But if you lay down and then you start with a body scan, I mean, I found that teenagers are so exhausted and they just end up like drinking it up. And then before you know it, when the body scan is over, it's been 15 minutes. So, sometimes we don't need this precursor language.
And they're grateful for that, trust me. Okay. Now from here, begin to bring your arms out to shoulder height and allow both knees to fall over towards the right side. Look over your left shoulder. And then from here, draw the knees up to center. Inhale. Exhale over to the left side. Look over your right shoulder. And then from here, begin to bring the knees up to center. And then reach both hands behind the right leg and extend your left leg onto the mat.
Okay.
There you go, right? This is when you provide labels for your students.
They did not test right and left for law school, so these practical these practical things. This is my hardest degree. Earned many degrees, but the yoga right and left is a challenge I'm working on.
Yes, I think we all get into
A growth area.
I think we all get into that at one point or another.
I read somewhere, I think it's like genetic, that some people, it's not an automatic, like some people they need to cognitively process like which is right or left each time, and some people don't. I don't know. So I'm somebody who has to like literally figure it out each time.
And then now from here, begin to bring your left knee into chest and extend your right leg long onto the mat.
So if all of you know your right and left, you are on track to be valedictorians.
That's
I
right.
feel really, really good about that.
That's right.
I love this quote that says, it says something like you don't need to be perfect to inspire others. Let others be inspired by your imperfections and how you deal with it. And so, I always tell students, like, if you see our class and you think, oh, I could do better than that, well then awesome. Then you can feel empowered and confident and stuff like that. So let our limitations inspire you as well.
I love that. Okay, and then now from here, actually bring your right knee into chest. And then roll yourself forward and back. Engage your abdominals, go slow a couple times. One more time, very good. Plow pose into boat pose. And then hold here.
Okay,
Oh yeah, hold here. Now, lift the right foot, left foot, with the knees bent, both feet. Yeah, that's it. And now lift your heart, lift your chest. Good, belly in, tuck the chin back. Beautiful. We have Ashley in a modified boat pose, so she's working her core. You can hold on if needed. Beautiful. Lift your heart, lift your chest again, constant adjustments, take any tension out of your lower back. And now extend your right arm, extend your left arm, and hold here. Draw the shoulder blades in, pull it back, bring the arms, hands in a little bit closer together. Yes. 3 more breaths. 2 more. 1 more. And then very, very slowly come to a seated position. Bring the soles of your feet together and then just allow to bow your heart forward. Soles of your feet together, bottom of the feet. Yes. Get that stretch in the lower back. Nice stretch for your lower back here. Nice stretch for your upper back, neck and shoulders. inner thighs. And then from here, slowly begin to lift yourself up, and then let's face forward. Beautiful. Extend your legs long. Beautiful. Draw your shoulders back and extend your arms forward. Pull the shoulder blades in. Good. Now point and flex your feet just to warm up the calf muscles. So you're saying hello, everybody. Your feet. And then from here, have the feet flex towards you. And if someone doesn't know what flex means, just say point them towards the body. And then if you want them to point and they don't know what that means, point them away from the body. And then you can, if there's kids, you can say, look, then you look at your toes and let's begin. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy went home, right? You can do whatever, you can play. Or if you have adults, you can say, oh my goodness, do I need a pedicure or not need a pedicure? Many ways to have fun. And then from here, begin to bring the arms out to the sides, bend the elbows. Now we're a cactus tree. Cactus tree. Close our eyes here for a moment. Press our sacrum down. Draw the shoulder blades in and then draw your shoulders down. Good. Now we're working our core, upper back, hamstrings, glutes, quads. And, well, I did say glutes. And then from here, extend the arms overhead. Beautiful. Shoulders away from the ears. Dandasana. And let's bend the right knee. Place the right foot onto the ground. Bend the right knee. Both hands grab the knee. Give yourself a little stretch there. Good. Now take your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Look at you. She figured out right and left here. Bring that right hand all the way behind you. And then bring it a little closer to the body. Good. Now from here, inhale, lift up to the crown of the head. And then exhale, take your left elbow, press it into your right thigh, and then twist and rotate to the right a bit more. Bring your right hand back behind you a bit more. Good. To help rotate. It's a big stretch for your shoulders, lower back, hip, hamstring, glute on the left side. And then from here, slowly begin to rotate the body all the way around. Extend your right leg long onto the mat, and then bring your left knee. Take your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Bring the left hand close to the body. Beautiful. Now from here, let's begin to rotate the body forward. Extend your left leg. Come back to Dandasana. Beautiful. Belly in. Inhale. Exhale. This looks easy, but believe me, holding this for quite some time like we've been doing is not easy. Actually, it's just smiling through the process. And then from here, let's begin to lower the hands and bring the legs as far apart as the body allows. Very good. And then from here, press your sacrum down, lift up to the crown. And then with a straight back, begin to walk your hands out in front of you. Straight back. Bring the shoulders back a little bit. Good. Hamstrings and inner thighs. Now, point the toes away. Point them towards the body. Point them away. Towards the body. Point them away. Towards the body. Point them away and hold. And then very, very slowly, begin to bring your legs a little further apart if you can. Beautiful. And now let your head completely relax. And then very, very slowly walk the hands back towards the body, and then slowly bring your feet together. Bring the soles of the feet together, yep. And then now cup the bottom, cup the pinky toes, draw your shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the crown, and then begin to pull on your feet as you roll, fold forward. Yes. Now if you need your hands to sustain you and support you, begin to walk your hands out in front.
With the straight back.
Yes.
This is a wonderful hip stretch. I feel it in my.
Mm. Beautiful, Ashley. And then from here, slide the hands towards the body as we begin to press ourselves up. And then from here, bring the knees together. And now grab right under the knees, lift your feet. Bow pose again. Damn it, I thought I was done with that. Just hold for a few breaths. Beautiful. Now, from here, let's begin to lower the feet down. And then if you can, from here, it's not easy, come into tabletop, just for a brief moment. A couple of cat-cows.
We did cat-cow in, I believe, week 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. And I said that kids love animal poses, like new poses with animals. And this is also just so good, great at any age to warm up the spine.
Yes. And some people will do it faster, some people will do it slower. I suggest slow, so you can feel your way into this pose, in and out of it, meaning. And now come to a neutral spine. Neutral spine. And then from here, press yourself up into downward facing dog. Step your feet towards your hands. No, towards your hands, all the way forward. Forward fold, hug your opposite elbows. Knees slightly bent. And then from here, hands to shins for a half lift. Arms out to the side like airplane wings. Press into your feet, slide bend your knees. Belly in, rise up to stand. Mountain pose. And then from here, inhale the arms out and overhead. Exhale, step back to high lunge, the right foot back to high lunge. So as if you're on railroad tracks. Give yourself a little bit more space by either inching your left foot forward or sliding your right leg back a bit. Now step your foot over to the right, just a bit. Right foot over to the right, yes. Now draw the left hip back, good. Deep breath, inhale. Exhale, look how perfect this high lunge is. In some practices like Kripalu, they consider this warrior one. So just be mindful of where you are, what you're teaching. Some people might interpret the poses differently. And then from here, Ashley, bring your hands to your hips. Lower your right heel down so that it's parallel with the back of the mat. Is it parallel? Yep. And then you want your front foot, or your left foot in this case, parallel with the front of the mat. Now, draw your hip and shoulder back together. Good. Breathe, Ashley. Now from here, imagine sliding your feet towards one another. And then you want your left knee over the left ankle. Left knee pointing towards your second and third toe. Peel your right hip back even more. Good. Now, extend your arms, want your right hand back, your left hand forward. Lift your palms. Bring the shoulders down over the ears. Orient your palms to face the ceiling. Now, look out over your left hand.
Okay, left hand. Got it.
Now, look back over your right hand. Look over your left. Over your right. And then look over your left and hold here. Breathe. Nice and evenly centered. Squeezing the thighs in towards one another. So inner thighs are engaged. That also helps engage our core, upper back, upper body. And then from here, flip the palm of the left hand. No, just the left hand. And then reach up toward the sky, peaceful warrior. Bend the left knee a bit more. Come forward just a bit more. Good, more. And then from here, draw your left forearm to left thigh. Windmill that right hand up into warrior two. Sorry, extended side angle. Now flush your left forearm into your left thigh and open your hips up to the left, to the right more, sorry. Now extend your left arm overhead even more. Beautiful. Now from here, windmill the hands right back up into warrior two. So the reason why did I have Ashley stay in these poses a little bit longer? I want her to focus mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And then from here, bring your hands to heart center. Come up to the ball of your right foot. As you rotate your hip and step your right foot forward, mountain pose. Bring your hands to alongside you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. And then from here, let's come to the other side of the mat, actually. Why? Because I want the students to see the pose from both sides. I want you to have your back to them. Inhale, arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, step the left foot back to high lunge. And then from here, we didn't use this cue on the other side, but imagine hugging your thighs together. Good, you see that rotation that Ashley just did? Very important. Energize your left heel. Beautiful, by pressing through that left heel. Nice. Now from here, lower your left heel down and then extend your right hand forward and your left hand back. See, warrior two on the left side. Beautiful. Now in this warrior two, we're gonna ask Ashley to be a little generous by sliding the left leg back just a bit. And then be mindful that all 5 toes of your right foot are pointing forward. There you go. Right knee over the right ankle. So come forward just a bit more. Yes. The knee. No, just the knee. Yes. And now bring the upper body back. Yes. There you go. Now flip the palms to face the ceiling. Allow the palms to face the earth. That just drop the shoulders away from your ears. Hug the thighs in towards one another. Straighten out the left leg. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Now look over your right hand. Look back over your left. And then look over the right and then stay right here. And then from here, flip the palms of the right hand. And then send that right arm up towards the sky to peaceful warrior. Left hand back comes behind you. Now reach up with the left hand and then reach right hand and reach back. So point now. Reach up with the right hand, yeah. Reach up, up, good. And then now reach back. Yes, there you go. Get more oblique, huh? More stretch on the right side, and you feel your left side working a little. Now, bring your right forearm to right thigh, and extend the left arm overhead. Beautiful. Point that left hand straight. Straighten out the left hand. Left elbow too. You want the arm straight. Yeah, that's the other straight, exactly. Press your right forearm down to your right thigh, and then bring your hips forward a bit by peeling your left hip and shoulder back. Good. Breathe in, breathe out, breath in, breath out. Now from here, begin to bring your hands to heart center. Come up to the ball of your left foot as you rotate your left hip forward. Step your left foot forward. Mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. We didn't do this on the other side, but we'll do it on this side, and then we'll go back and do it on the other side. Step your left foot back to high lunge. We're going to do a little standing vinyasa. How does that sound?